Dímelo! Dímelo, Dominican York. What's going on, mi gente? What the is going on? Mira, I'm all bummy. You know, I slept like this. That's how I woke up. But mira, one that I wanted to hate on, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why. You know what I mean? There's just things you probably just want to hate on. Or, I guess a better way to say it, things that I had no interest in. Right? This was like a kind of like my wife. My wife purchased her second Latafa. I forgot the name of this one. You guys can drop a comment down below, please. I don't want to look. I should look it up. Hold on. So, Latafa Angum 2024 release. And on the Sniff app, it's showing lavender, cacao, amber, praline, ginger, pink pepper, and mandarin. I don't know how true that is because honestly, we both agree that it really smells like Burberry. And this is the regular Burberry EDP. It's not the Intense. The Intense, I believe, has more lavender. My wife does prefer. We're going to spray this. Again, Angum 2024 release. It is a tight top. Yesterday, she had a heck of a time pulling the cap off. Doesn't disperse a lot, but it atomized really well. It misted incredibly well. I haven't sprayed anything on skin. I did spray Art of Arabia 3 around neck, but not on arms. Ooh. You pick up the vanilla right away. You definitely pick up the vanilla right away. Oh, wow, this is good, but let's put it on paper. It's a weird function on that cap. And then we'll spray Art of Arabia. Yeah, mist really well. I shouldn't have done that, you know. Honestly, it wasn't that alcoholic. This is really delicious on paper, and I pick up more of that sweetness. You know, yesterday I told her that it was Burberry more than Burberry. And it's Burberry Goddess. I didn't say the name. What is it? Yeah, I'm not going to put the cap on tight anymore. It's a very tight fit. So I'm picking up a lot of vanilla right away. You figure there's some sweetness in there, but off of scent, I can't tell what it is. Just off the scent, I couldn't tell you what it is. You know, going to the notes. Yeah, it just smells really good. I told her it might even change and develop a little bit over time. You know, it happens with certain Latafas, right? It could happen with anything, I assume. Burberry Goddess, I really shouldn't spray, but I want to. I'm going to put that on paper. I'm not going to spray it in the air, even though she can get another bottle. Latafa Angum on the right, Burberry Goddess EDP on the left. The Burberry is brighter, though. It's fresher at the top. You would almost say that the sweetness is different. And this is the beginning. I don't remember this being as almost like there's a citrusy fruit at the top as well. And I don't remember there being mandarin in that breakdown. I remember there was like 3 levels of vanilla. I'm going to have to pull it up. Hold on. I am corrected. Burberry Goddess does have cacao and ginger, according to the Sniff app. I didn't remember that, but I haven't looked at the note breakdown in, let's say, a year. This is really delicious stuff. She was going through this bottle until she got some other frags in her collection. She's really on a dense, gourmand cake, chocolate, or cake, cacao, praline, all those dates. She's got some stuff with dates, just really dense, delicious, edible style fragrances. She's been wearing Bianco Latte to bed. I didn't know that. I smelled it and I just love the way she smells, but it kind of reminds me again of some of the other gourmands that she has. So couldn't tell which one it was. But yeah, Burberry Goddess is brighter. The ginger is a brighter ginger than whatever ginger they put in Angum. Angum sweetness really is not as bright as. I'm imagining the dry down's got to be different. And this is the first time me remembering it on paper, because really I've just smelled Goddess on her, and it doesn't come off as fresh as it does off strip. It could be something different that was on a strip, but these are fresh strips. Anyway, definitely a difference. But my wife thought they were spot on. Right now is that I'm picking up, and I felt that this was, and I think that's why yesterday I felt that this was more Burberry Goddess than Burberry Goddess yesterday. So there is a front to the bottle. I didn't know for sure. I didn't look at the square. But this is really good. Burberry on skin may be different. My scent of the morning, and this is after wearing or waking up still with a bubble of Y Le Parfum 2025. That's what I wore yesterday. And it's been on me well over half a day. But Art of Arabia 3 is a dupe of Blonde Amber, according to videos and YouTube. Semi-aggressive atomizer, doesn't put out a lot of juice. The scent is peculiar to me at first. It isn't one that you think you love right away. At least I didn't. And I don't know that I love it, but this wearing experience this morning had me going back for it because it's got a sharpness to it. There's an ambery sharpness to it that may not be for everybody's nose. Or with that amberiness, that's what I think I'm getting. With that amberiness, there's a slew of spices that aren't nose tickling, but spicy nonetheless. And it just smells like a great scent profile that I really haven't exactly come across before. That I haven't, period. It feels different to anything that I have. That's how I'm learning to associate a lot. I've got a decent collection, guys. I don't have everything, and I don't have a lot. I don't have everything, but I have a lot. More than the average person, of course. And honestly, they're like songs to me. Yesterday, recording with and saying that, the note carries like this on this fragrance. And that really is a way that I do think a lot, you know, and a lot of us do. We associate music to a lot in more ways than you imagine. You know, there's people that study the music. There's studies that certain musics help you remember more or remember better or recall things easier when it's time to test. You know, a lot of differences, man. Oh, shout out to this whole outfit. Shout out to my wife for the entire outfit. She got me this for a Christmas a few years ago, I believe. And this, I believe, last year for Christmas. And I usually don't rock a lot of military stuff. Shout out to my brothers and sisters. That's how me and my wife met. And, ooh, what is this? Imperfection in the bottle. But anyway, I do take, you know, the service very seriously. From a young age, I was very romanticized about service. And I think that's our generation of cartoons, you know, G.I. Joes. And I saw some kind of show or video that said that a lot of today's cartoons are kind of, you know, are muted compared to the cartoons that we watched at their ages growing up that had themes that included war, drugs, you know, family dynamics in a very realistic way, like divorce or daddy dying or, you know, whatever. Kind of more adult themed, young age cartoons that we grew up with, things that I didn't even think about, like little cartoon characters that, you know, were doing things that adults should be doing. That kind of stuff, you know, the cartoons today. And I had one playing for 24 hours on Tubi. It is, you know, the new Sonic is really kind of tamed down. It's not like the Sonic before, you know, killing, shooting, not killing, but, you know, shooting. And I don't know. It was just more violent, slightly more realistic. Today, the fighting is very different. If they do any fighting, you know, on Sonic, they did. So, anyway, got way off topic. Art of Arabia 3, one that I kind of wanted to hate on. And I say that to say that one that I didn't give any mind to, right? It's one of those things. Blonde Amber is so expensive, and, you know, it's like Blue Sapphire. Not to say I'm hating on it, but I'm not in here trying to think about Blue Sapphire. I'm in here enjoying what I have. So this is one that, you know, I wasn't necessarily looking for it, but Lattafa Pride puts a lot of fragrances out there that are really nice. I tend to enjoy the Lattafa Pride. That's why I ended up having a small collection of them. There's a few that I haven't spoke of, and some of the more popular ones that I really have, like Vintage Radio. So Art of Arabia 3 really has an ambery, spicy, winter, fall, perfect fragrance that is persistent. The scent doesn't go away. It definitely gives me a strong 8 hours, you know, from the times I've worn it. And this being kind of my first official full wearing, let's see if I'm probably going to shower soon, so I'm probably going to wash it off anyway and change clothing. But I'm pretty sure I remember this sticking on clothing for more than 48 hours. So that's one thing to think about. Very dense, very ambery, spicy, but without that nose tingling effect. So it's a tamed spice. Kind of almost reminds me of like well, I was going to say a Givenchy scent, but I only have one. That's the Boisé, Gentleman Reserve Boisé. And kind of in that vein, kind of maybe even in the Enigma vein. Very ambery again. But, ooh, some people might compare this to Grand Soir a little bit. If you added a bunch of spices to Grand Soir, that might be a direction to lean in to describe Art of Arabia 3. But I want you guys to Give it a sample. They're like $20. Anyway, que Dios me bendiga. Have a blessed week. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.